Okay, so today I want to talk about how me and my team of 25 plus YouTube killers generate 50 leads from 100 YouTube views. And I know that sounds weird, but we do it. One thing that you've heard a lot of times is you don't need millions of views. You can make serious money for your business even with low view numbers. And that's right, but typically, all the agencies or all the guys who are claiming this fact simply claiming it because they can't even get high views. So they say, yeah, it's fine, we get low views, and then you get your 3 leads per month or whatever, and you're supposed to be happy with that, right? But we have perfected this art. So we really took this to the next level where we know exactly which viewer journey we want your ideal prospect to go through when they first discover your YouTube channel in order for them to convert into a lead after watching a bunch of videos. And look, we have played all sides of the table. We know how to get a lot of views. We know how to get millions of views. We know how to get little views but still get a lot of conversions. And everything it takes is 3 small changes that I personally haven't heard anyone talk about on YouTube, on these kind of, guru channels so far. So let's get into it. Here's the thing. This is one of our channels and it gets a lot of views. For example, this one 3 months ago, 1.8 million views, 230K, 290K, easy, right? Easy. I don't spend a lot of money, a lot of time on this channel, and it just runs because it's a great team and they are killers. But this channel actually doesn't generate a lot of leads for us. I mean, you see here we have the Channelcraft Agency website linked. We have it in some of these videos. And yeah, from time to time people come, and when they come, then they are warm, then they are hot. They want to work with us, with me specifically. But a lot of the times we don't get a lot of views here, a lot of leads. And this one, Steven, he's getting views like 90 views, 106 views, 144, 200, whatever, and there's some, like, this is a bad screenshot because he actually does get a bunch of good views on some of his videos. So, like, my fault, bad screenshot, but he generates 60 to 70% of all his business's leads from YouTube. And he gets dozens of leads from this channel. So how does that work? Now, of course, the short answer that anybody out there that is pretending to know a lot about YouTube lead generation would give you is, yeah, you just need to, create the right videos. You need to target your ICP and so on, right? But look, it's not as easy as that. So, first of all, to establish the baseline, it's a big lie about YouTube views. It's not like you need a lot of views and then you will have a lot of clients. Actually, what happens is you could have 100,000 views and 99,000 people, they just want to watch this video for the entertainment. Then you have 900 tire kickers who will never buy. And you'll have 100 people who might actually be interested, and you get 5 to 10 qualified leads. But you could also have this situation. You have 1,000 targeted views where 800 people are exactly in your target market. You have 200 actively looking for a solution because, right now they need a solution. They not just your target market, they actually need the solution right now. And then you have 50 ready to take action, and you get 25 to 30 qualified leads as opposed to 5 to 10 qualified leads from 100K views. So that's a big difference. And, of course, we've also done the Champions League, right? We've also done channels where you get a lot of views and you get a lot of leads. Like, for example, Jake, he has almost 150K subscribers. His videos are getting hundreds of thousands of views, and he's getting so many leads that he literally can't deal with it, so that's the luxury, that's the Champions League, that's where everybody wants to be. And he's also targeting a very narrow audience, just as a as a side note there, so his audience is high net worth individuals who are looking for a family fun type of solution in the crypto space. So that's like freaking, niche as okay. So, but he gets hundreds of thousands of views and he gets so many leads. And that's also possible, right? But it's highly unusual. And starting out, you don't really need to have this many views to generate 5 figures through YouTube. Now, if you're a bigger company or if you have super high ticket products, you could also generate 6 figures. But at the beginning, we want to set the expectation right. Now, here's the real problem with low views. When you're getting 300 to 1,000 views, you can't really afford to waste a single viewer. Because what usually happens, the viewer clicks, they watch like 3 minutes of your thing, they learn something, they leave, and they never come back. Okay? They never come back. You never see them again. Now, you just gave away free value. You wasted time recording this video. And people just click the video, they get their answers, and there's zero path to becoming a client, okay? Now that's, of course, a bad situation, but also this is a conversion problem. It's not a views problem. What people usually then think is, oh damn, I just got 300 to 1,000 views, I need to up it up, I need to get more views, and then it will start working. No, you need to differentiate between having conversion problems and view problems. And we have designed an entire course like a year ago or so about conversion systems. So what are the ways to convert viewers? And I'll give you a couple of points here, okay? So I talked about 3 changes. The solution, YouTube as a sales funnel. You should treat YouTube like a sales funnel. Your videos need to do 3 things. First of all, address people with money. Because here's the mistake that most people make. They create videos for everyone in their niche. And that is obviously a huge mistake. And now, of course, there's also people who just create videos for everyone. That's super bad. Now, you have people who think they are clever and then they will start videos for everyone in their niche, right? Perfect. Yeah, that's what I should do with my YouTube channel, right? I niched down. I'm creating content for everyone. Well, no. Because you need to keep a couple of things in mind. Here's an example. 5 tax tips for small businesses. Who will this address? It will get you people watching this video that are broke entrepreneurs that do everything themselves. So you might, if you have 1,000 views there, you'll get like 10 people, 5 people booking a call, and all of them will be broke. You'll just waste a lot of time on these phone calls and you will sell 0. Whereas how 500,000 plus earners, you reduce taxes without selling assets. This gets you people who can actually afford your service. It's like a filter. At the top of the funnel, sometimes you have these gurus telling you about how a landing page should look like, right? And then you have like the big header, I will build you a YouTube channel that generates 15 to 30 leads per month, right? And then on the top of the header, it says, for agency owners only, or for 50K plus 1,000 per month, or MRR businesses only, right? So this is the equivalent of this mechanic, but used on YouTube packaging. So you want to make sure the title immediately makes clear that this thing is not for brokies. As we did here, Jake Claver, most common mistakes wealthy families make, right? I'm not talking about most common mistakes crypto investors make, because 99% of crypto investors are broke. No, we're targeting wealthy families, family offices, UHNWI, and so on. Okay? Now, our average with Jake is around 200,000 views on these videos. And this video targets wealthy families, which is exactly his ICP. And this video got more leads than usual. It generated more revenue. It got more engagement. And it built more authority because he's not just talking to this niche, he's talking to a sub-niche in his niche, right? And people who are being addressed by this thing, they know immediately, okay, the guy obviously works with wealthy families. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to record this video, you know? There's information in there. Information that's classified. You can't talk about this if you don't work with wealthy families, okay? But of course, the video got less views, right? It didn't have this 200k view average. It got less views than that. Now it's still growing, right? It's an evergreen video, so this thing will keep growing until Jake is no more. But as a fact, it got less views. So, what would you choose? Now, the second thing that you need to keep in mind is authority and likability. It's a very small change that you can do, but it will help you massively turn your channel into a lead generation machine. As a matter of fact, it will help you turn any piece of content online into a lead generation machine, right? We also build LinkedIn presences, for example, for some of our customers. We're building lead magnets, email automations, VSLs. And all of them need to keep in mind this rule. And what is this rule? You need to build authority and likability. Most people that come to us think they need authority only. And most shitty LinkedIn agencies think you need likability only for some reason. You know, you have these freaking posts about, oh, you know, I have this one rule when dealing with my employees, it's love only and whatever, or I love doing sports in the morning, it's such a great thing. No, nobody gives a fuck if you just talk about this stuff, right? You need to mix it up. And here's how you do it. People don't just buy because you're qualified. They also buy simply because they like you. And you see the opposite effect with massive guys like Elon Musk, where now his likability over the course of, you know, the past couple of years, like there were times where it has decreased a lot and people stopped buying Teslas, for example. You know, they put stupid stickers on their cars saying, I bought this before Elon went crazy, whatever, right? But you get the point. People buy also because they like you. They don't just buy because you think you're competent. If you're competent, but you're a fucking asshole, nobody's gonna buy. So, authority comes from sharing specific frameworks. We do videos sometimes where the founder sits down, he literally has a notepad and he writes stuff, okay? This is my framework on how I build, you know, a lead generation funnel based on cold emails or whatever, you know? You use real examples. Rule of thumb, no matter what we're talking about in terms of YouTube, okay? Rule of thumb, you want to be as specific as possible. If you want to like watch this video and then just run with it and say, okay, I'll just do everything myself, fine, do that. When you write the script, be as specific as possible. Never say, you know, I increased the conversion rate for my client. No, say I increased it by 9.5% over the course of 3.5 weeks, right? That's what you want to say. When you tell stories, you use the same technique. So we also build YouTube channels for national television, for example, right? Or for big media companies. And these are completely other beasts, you know? So there it's more about basically entertainment, you know, like building really cool, telling really cool stories, videos that can go viral, right? So these media companies that we work with, they want to reach millions of people. So it's a different game from when we build YouTube channels for business owners. But there's some similarity there, because when you tell a story, the more specific it is, the better, right? You tell a story, you say, I woke up at 9:05. My head was in a lot of confusion. I slowly opened my eyes, and the first thing that hit my eyes when I opened them was whatever, right? So now you're hooked. This is how you tell a story. It's not like, yeah, I woke up at some point and then I made breakfast. No, you want to be very specific. Now, Yeah, the way you do this in business is obviously you use real examples of some of your clients, for example, right? But also real examples of processes, structures, benchmarks, and so on. You want to go super deep, not just surface level. I know some of you have concerns. Oh, someone will steal my techniques and they will just take it and run with it. First of all, nobody gives a fuck. Secondly, the people who will just steal your techniques and implement them themselves, they would have never bought your stuff in the first place anyways. Okay? So, yeah. And the alternative is staying on the surface level while all your competitors are going extremely deep, providing extremely high value, and people look at your channel and they're just, what the fuck, he's just yapping, right? There's zero value in this. And this way you demonstrate you actually know your stuff. And likability, on the other side, is a completely different animal. But you also need to have videos that are geared towards likability, or you need to have segments in your scripts that are geared towards likability. And that means talking about your journey. Classical hero's journey technique, okay? You like every freaking movie you watch, you can see this. You want to talk about your journey from 0 to 100. How did you make it? People are actually interested in this. They want to know what you struggle with. They want to know for real what it's like to build the business you're building. What are the downsides? What are the struggles? Okay, so you want to be human and relatable. What works right now very well on YouTube is being relatable. You have a lot of guys out there who are making videos about how amazing they are, how many private jets they have flown on, and what cool Ferraris they own. Nobody gives a fuck because everybody can do that and everybody can fake that. But showing real vulnerability, saying, I have days where I hate my business, or we fucked up with one client. Here's how we made it good, Here's how we turned it around. Stuff like that gets you views and it also gets you likability. You shouldn't take yourself too seriously either. Right now we're starting working with a big company. Guy is a prolific founder, built a company worth hundreds of millions in Europe, in a very traditional industry at that which kind of he then revolutionized and put technology into this industry. That's how much I can say. But he's old school, he's from a very wealthy family. His dad was a multimillionaire already, built a massive conglomerate. And he was taught that you should be very serious, right? So the first script we sent him, he said, guys, I can't do this. There's colloquial language in there, short sentences. And we needed to teach him that that's actually how it's supposed to be. A YouTube script is supposed to be written in a way as if I was telling you a story, as if I'm just talking with a colleague. It's not about having extremely long sentences and sub-sentences, having extremely official language and weird words that nobody uses. It's also not about taking yourself too seriously, okay? So, one way you can do that is we love to include some self-deprecating humor, okay? I'll give you an example. You start an intro and you talk about, I've built this business within 12 months. We scaled from 0 to 500,000 MRR. We secured investment from Andreessen Horowitz, and I have, 50 centimeter biceps. All right. And by the way, I don't want to brag, And then on the screen, you have like a small text that says, while you're saying, I don't want to brag, you have a small text that says literally bragging right now. So it's like you have this little fight between you recording the video and the video editor, right? The video editor is kind of, deprecating you a little bit. And that's cool. It's self-deprecating humor and it works. So again, think about it. Have you ever bought from someone you thought is smart, but you didn't like them? Probably not, right? Probably not. And here's the other thing. You should really give away everything. This might be counterintuitive, but it's really critical because people You should tell people everything that you know and don't hold back. Think about it. Guys like Alex Hormozy are doing it. It can't be completely wrong. The way that he got big literally was this, he started giving everything away. And what happened, contrary to, belief of some business owners, is not that suddenly people stopped buying his courses or his coachings and he made himself useless. He took himself out of the purchase equation. No, people started buying. He went viral. He gained a lot of views and a lot of leads and sales. Okay. Now, the last thing that I want to tell you is that you should make longer videos probably. Okay. Your videos might be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Probably you should make them longer anyways. What we're aiming for right now is 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes even longer. Okay, sometimes we make them even longer. And we might also mix in a 60-minute banger there from time to time. Okay, if we think it makes sense, we'll mix that in. Just the other day I was talking with a friend and we'll start building a YouTube channel for him. He has it's a German YouTube channel about basically insurance for digital nomads, so travel insurance essentially. That's like travel insurance was his nucleus. That's where he started, and now they're doing all kinds of insurances and whatever. He already has a YouTube channel that's going quite well, but all his videos are about like between 5 to 10 minutes. I said, make longer videos. Trust me, bro. He said, nobody will watch this. Huh? It's like insurance like stuff and so on. But he also has really cool videos about like what nationalities you can get easily, what kind of passports you can get with some kind of investment. It's a little bit like, with like Nomad Capitalist. Actually, we had a call with Nomad Capitalist today in regards to YouTube, but no client yet. But if you look at the Nomad Capitalist channel, same thing, right? They're talking about all these things like how you get a passport here, how you get residency and so on. And these videos can run for 20, 30, 40 minutes, no problem. If you have the deep knowledge and this German guy has it, you should talk about it. Because worst case that happens is people watch it for like 10 minutes and then they switch off. But if your video is 5 minutes in the first place, then nobody's going to be able to watch it for 10 minutes, even if they want to, right? And YouTube, contrary to popular belief, does not penalize you if people don't watch the whole video. There's no such thing as them measuring what's the percentage viewed, and then if people just watch 20%, you don't appear in the algorithm. No, YouTube logically just cares about you watching for a long time, right? So if you have a 5-minute video and someone watches it for 5 minutes, or you have a 50-minute video and someone watches it for 7 minutes, guess what? YouTube prefers the 50-minute video, because even though people watched a much lower percentage, they still watched it for a longer time. They watched it 2 minutes longer, which means YouTube has more potential to show you ads, and that's what the fuck they care about, right? So here is the result for one of our clients, Jake, again, right? We had a 1-hour banger, and it was a 13.3x outlier. Can you imagine? You know what an outlier is? It's when you look at the channel average, like the channel view average, and an outlier is one that is much higher than the average, right? This one was 13.3 times higher than the channel average on a 1-hour video. All right, so longer videos convert better too. You can have a short 8-minute video and you'll give some surface level tips. You will, leave a lot of questions open that viewers have. Maybe you will answer like 80% of the questions people have, but people have weird questions. You know that from sales calls and so on, right? People just have a lot of weird questions, and if you can address all of these weird questions at the end of the video for another 10 minutes, then why not do it, right? So no deep trust is being built and people click away. Whereas 25-minute long video, you can explain your whole framework. You can you can answer, let's say, 95% of the questions, and there'll still always be some weird questions that you can't ever answer. But you can establish deep trust. If someone watches you for like 10 or 15 minutes out of a 25-minute video, well, guess what? They really trust you at this point, and they say, I need to work with this person. Okay? Now, the third thing that I want to say is important is a CTA plus funnel. So strategic CTA placement is really key. And most business owners completely botch this part. What they do is they get to the end of the video and then they're like, if you want to work with me, just email me or like whatever, reach out. It's awkward, it's forgettable, and it'll get you low conversion. So what we do with many clients is the lead magnet strategy. Here's the setup. You create a free valuable resource that is related to your video topic. You mention it naturally halfway through the video, not at the end. Not at the end, because at the end only 30% of people are still watching. So you're leaving out so much potential. And then you make it an extension of the value you're providing. Okay, so here's an example. For one of our clients, wing assistants. Wing specialists are available 24/7 for personalized consultation. So people can schedule a meeting and they will literally get a personal consultation on how they can work with a virtual assistant. We also have other examples. A client, Will Cannon, for example, from Uplead. He has in fact he has like 30 lead magnets or so. So he has lead magnets on every single topic that pertains to cold email or cold call outreach, because that's the solution that he offers. And their company is worth millions. And that works extremely well because people then download this lead magnet and now you have them in your system, right? In general, a lead magnet can be a free consultation, a free guide, a free discount, many other things. And why does this work? Because without a lead magnet, the viewer watches you and then they leave and you have no way to follow up. Even worse, we don't want to have platform risk. We're still on a foreign platform. It's freaking YouTube. Nobody knows what happens. Maybe in 10 years it doesn't exist anymore. But with a lead magnet, viewer watches, they download the resource, you now have their email and you can nurture them and they can buy when they're ready. And here's the thing, you don't just nurture them with boring email campaigns, you nurture them with more videos. You link the videos in your email automations. So you're literally attacking them from all sides. You're making sure this guy, whenever he gets your lead magnet, he'll also get your videos and he'll get your content and he will like you if he likes it or not, right? Plus, it also self-selects interested people, right? Because only those who are actually caring about your stuff, they will download it. Now, maximizing viewers who don't buy immediately. Sales is a lot about timing. You know that yourself. Sometimes you get in touch with people and it's just not the right timing for them. So maybe when someone watches your video, they're dealing with other issues. Someone quit, they have personal problems, they are more concerned with their testosterone levels right now, whatever. But they're not ready. And you need to have a way to get in touch with them when they are ready. So here's another cool thing, the retargeting strategy. When someone watches your video, they get tagged with a pixel. This means you can run Google ads to anyone who's watched your videos in the past 3 to 6 months. And this is something many people don't know, and very few agencies really know how to do this stuff properly, okay? So if viewer watches your video, they don't take action, but you target them with retargeting ads. The cool thing is retargeting ads are quite cost efficient. You have a great ROI because people already saw you. You don't just spray and pray and get anyone. No, you literally get just the people who already saw you. So if your videos are reasonably niche, it means these people are really your ICP. You want to get something in front of them again. So then people book a call and buy your product after seeing your retargeting ads a couple of times. Here's an example retargeting email from a client. Breaking new studies show saunas are doctor recommended for recovery and stress, whatever, free delivery, like amazing. I would buy this sauna right away if I see this kind of cool email, okay? And another thing is you should repurpose content everywhere. So turn your videos into newsletter content, LinkedIn posts, tweets, short form clips. Those are all things that we do for clients, whether it's newsletter, LinkedIn, or whatever. Like, we do all of this and it works extremely well. Here's an example of a client, for example, repurposing stuff. So he has a YouTube channel, and we can just turn his stuff into LinkedIn posts, and they do perform well. Even more so if we do a little bit of magic. We reach out to his ICPs on LinkedIn, we engage them, we nurture them, and then we close them on LinkedIn right away, right? And here's Jake, for example, repurposing his his long form videos as shorts. Simple but works. 680,000 views, 514,000 views. Those are the results if you get the fundamentals right. So if this helped you, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel, and we'll have more tutorials here about how to build business YouTube channels that generate revenue from the perspective of a guy who's done super big and super small corporations. Like, I've worked with the biggest media companies as well as the smallest one-person hustlers that generate 10, 20K monthly recurring revenue. And the nice thing is we can take a lot of the learnings from the big dogs and apply them in an 80-20 way for the small dogs, okay? Now, if you have questions, we're monitoring the comments, so drop them below and we'll get to that. And if you want, book a free strategy call in the bio below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.